Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode in my Football Manager series. This is episode number 32, and today we're returning with two big games against two rival teams with our Lions as we take on Crystal Palace away in the Carabao Cup 4th round, and also West Ham away in the Premier League as well. Before we play these games though, shout out me will be getting on off camera. So of course, in the last episode, you saw our back-to-back 3-0 losses away at New White Hart Lane against Spurs, and then our 3-0 loss to Manchester City at home as well. I then played 5 games off camera. I did say I was coming back for this doubleheader here against Arsenal, Manchester United, but I didn't see the West Ham game in this run. I really wanted to play that one. It's our first meeting against them in the Premier League ever, and after our progress in the Carabao Cup 3rd round, which was our first game of the 5-game run off camera, we've been drawn against Crystal Palace in the 4th round, and I thought 2 rival clashes together would be quite a fun doubleheader. So we took on Leeds in the 3rd round of the Carabao Cup to start the run off camera. Well, we were trailing inside the first 2 minutes, but we responded really well. Shane Ferguson getting us back on level terms, and there were 19 minutes to go in the game. We scored 2 goals. Marvin Brito getting the first of those 2 to turn the game on its head and put us in front, and then Shane Ferguson bagged this brace with 5 minutes to go to give us the win at Ellen Road and send us through to the 4th round of the Carabao Cup. So delighted with that, our first win in our last 4 games, but unfortunately we didn't respond after that one. We got thumped by Chelsea by 4 goals to 0 in the very next game away at Stamford Bridge, and all 4 goals came inside the first half. Well, we conceded, I think it was 31 shots on our goal in the game. It was absolutely terrible. We were sliced open time after time after time again. The Blues were just tearing us open, carving us down like a hot knife through butter, and simply put, we just could not cope with their fantastic attacking pieces. So lost the game by 4 goals to 0. Kante scored, so can't really complain when the best player of all time is bagging a goal against you. But so we lost the game anyway. And yeah, it was a very frustrating but sort of predictable loss. So we shipped, I think it was 10 goals in 3 games, scoring none in the Premier League. And I was thinking, everything's going wrong. We need a response. And we got one in the very next game. We took on Burnley at the Den, and we beat the team that were currently bottom of the table by 2 goals to 1. In what was, let's just call this, a much needed victory and a must-win game. Had to get the win, and we did. John Black scored our first goal 4 minutes after the restart to put us in front, and then Marek Kuchar doing it once again. My word, we love this guy. With 5 minutes to go, making it 2-0. Gave us the 3 points, and despite Munir scoring a consolation goal in stoppage time, we held on for the victory, and my word, did we need that. Massive victory after 3 defeats on the trot, and a big win there. And in the next game, we travelled to Anfield to take on Liverpool, and I was expecting this game to go like the Spurs, the City and the Chelsea games, and we would get thumped, but instead we took a shock lead just 4 minutes in. John Black giving us a surprise lead and a surprise advantage over Liverpool inside the first 5 minutes. We went 1-0 up. We were defending well, we were weathering the storm pretty well, but with 16 minutes to go, unfortunately, Mohamed Salah, he does it in real life all the time, he did it in the game as well. Liverpool's key man popping up big time for the Reds, giving them the equalising goal, and sadly preventing us from claiming a famous victory at Anfield, as the game did finish as a draw, but we almost won it right to death. Marvin Brito was sent through 1-on-1, knee at the post, so unlucky from Marvin, almost giving us the 3 points, but sadly had to settle for just a 1, but I'll certainly take that. A very credible result away at Anfield, and whilst we were denied a famous victory, it was still a really good scoreline for us. But unfortunately, the final game off camera was a loss, and our first defeat at the Den, our second defeat at the Den this season, as we lost to Eddie Howe's Bournemouth by 3 goals to 2. Benny Kafobe put them a goal up at 23 minutes in, a bizarre first goal. Don't really know what on earth happened, but he scored the goal after a weird deflection from a clearance, and made it 1-0. Sisto, who we remember from the Swansea save, made it 2-0 just before the break, and whilst Marvin Brito did get us back in the game, 3 minutes after the restart, Callum Clutch Wilson scored to make it 3-1 on the stroke of the hour mark. Oh man, if you've been watching me play FM or FIFA for quite a while, you'll know we love Callum Wilson, but I didn't love him at this moment. Made it 3-1, and despite Brito scoring his second goal of the game with 10 minutes to go and grabbing the consolation, that's all it was, as we lost the game by 3 goals to 2. So yeah, it's been an inconsistent run off camera. It's been an inconsistent start to the season really, but as you can see right now in the Premier League, due to the fixtures we've played so far, we are in 13th place. It's not too bad. We're currently 6 points off the drop zone, where Burnley have actually now moved off the bottom of the table after their win in the last game and moved up to 18th place. We're 6 points off the bottom 3, all 3 of which are separated by just 1 goal there, with 5 points each. And yeah, it's not been too bad. It's been a little bit of a mini inconsistent inconsistent patch of form, but that's sort of what we expect throughout the entire season, really. As long as we keep our heads above water, that's enough for me. We're supposed to fight bravely against relegation. If we finish in 13th place in our debut in the Premier League, I'll tell you this right now, I'll be absolutely delighted. So, yeah, 2 big games today, both rival clashes. First, Crystal Palace away at Selhurst Park. Have had a very good start in the Championship last season, of course, beaten in the playoff semi-finals. They're in 5th place right now and aiming to bounce back and get back into the top flight. And we take them on away at Selhurst Park. And if we win this game, excuse me, we'll be into the quarterfinals of the competition for the first time in the Save. So let's see if we can do it. We will feel a weakened side regardless, because of course we don't really care too much about this competition. We're far more focused on the Premier League, and let's get to the game. So normal formation, normal instructions as always, and let's see how we get on. So George Long is in goal. We've got a back for Jada Silva, Jake Cooper, Tim Cahill, Gary Cahill, and Marlon Romeo. And our midfield 4 is Ferguson on the left. Collier, I believe, starting for the first time since joining us on the right-hand side due to a couple of injuries to start the season off. And in the middle, Ryan Tunnicliffe and Dimitri Payet. And on top together, Jerome Sinclair and Niasse as well. And on the bench, Anderson, Peters, Bree, The Dream, Webster, Kuchar and Brito. It's a weak team. We expect to win, but there could be a cup set on the cards. Let's find out. Come on, you Lions. Actually, due to Crystal Palace's very good start to the season, sitting in 5th place right now, us coming on the back of a loss and fielding a weakened side as well, I wouldn't say that, actually. I think both teams are evenly matched, and this game could go either way, and I guess it will come down to who keeps their composure, and there is a chance maybe for a straight red card just 9 minutes in for Milivojevic, and it may well be, and it is a straight red card for Milivojevic, and Crystal Palace down to 10 men early. So I was talking about needing to keep composure. They've got a man down 10 minutes in, and a good start for the Lions. We now have the man advantage. But sometimes it can be harder to play against teams with 10 men, and let's see if that does prove to be the case here. Well, the first highlight other than the red card could come now, and it may well come to the away side as well. Ryan Tunnicliffe finding Niasse, first start in a Millwall shirt. What can he do here as he plays back towards Tunnicliffe, out wide towards Shane Ferguson. Jada still making an overlapping run, but instead he finds Jerome Sinclair, who goes for goal and hits the post. Tight angle from Sinclair, tried his luck and almost scored. Crystal Palace are operating in an asymmetrical formation right now. They're playing without a right winger. So what I might do is try and get Jada Silva to go on the overlap a little bit more down that left-hand side and try and attack down the left flank a little bit more. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Maybe they'll change that formation soon. They normally do, the AI. They don't normally play asymmetrical, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. As we are still up, we are still tied 0-0. We do have the man advantage. And this is what we want to see here, going down left-hand side. Ferguson releasing Jerome Sinclair, but there's the interception. And Crystal Palace should scramble it away, but straight to Jada Silva. Now into Shane, and again we attack down the left-hand side with Tunnicliffe finding Sinclair, through to Niasse, takes his time, shoots and scores, and there is our first goal. First start in the Millwall shirt for Niasse. We've brought him in pretty much just to be a tutor, as right now he's tutoring Kuchar, and maybe Kuchar on the bench is taking notes there, and hopefully he is. That's a good finish by Umar, and we do get ourselves a goal up. Tunnicliffe into Jerome Sinclair, 2 assists in 2 games for Jerome, and Niasse's finish probably should have been kept out, to be fair, but it isn't. It's 1-0 Millwall, and 16 minutes in we had the lead at Selhurst Park. As Crystal Palace is still operating in that asymmetrical formation. Once this highlight finishes, I might possibly make that alteration myself and ask us to play down the left-hand side a little bit more as Finn goes for goal and fires just off target. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. If they're not going to make that plug that gap on their right-hand side, then we may as well try and take full advantage. So we'll try and exploit the left flank, get it down left if we can, and we are looking for the overlaps it is. And I'm going to ask Jada Silva, he should have a lot more freedom now to get himself forward more and go on the overlap. So yeah, let's go ahead and make those changes there, and hopefully this won't backfire, and it will see us get a few more opportunities and possibly a few more goals. I think we could probably do with keeping the ball on the ground a little bit more now as well, considering the fact that we've got the man advantage. Try and retain possession a little bit more and not just surrender a more direct passing. But Salah goes for goal. Oh, that was just off target and behind for a goal kick. We might have the man advantage. We might have the lead in this game as well, but this game is far from a formality. Crystal Palace are really going at us and looking for the equaliser. And here they come again. Salah on the ball, looking at danger man right now. Finn into Benteke. And speaking of danger men, when this guy gets space in the area, he normally provides that danger. Christian Benteke rifling in the equaliser. It's no less than 10 men Crystal Palace deserve. Lovely little ball inside by Finn. And the big Belgian beast makes it 1-1. So Zahara sees it, gives it to Salah. Salah to Finn as Benteke lost his marker. He was just onside. And it's a great finish as well. Palace 1, Millwall 1. And fair play to them. They deserve it. So at the break, I've motivated and fired at the boys for saying I'm not pleased with what I've seen. And to be fair, I'm not. We've got a man advantage we should be doing better than this. And I'm not regretting that decision to try and attack down left a bit more, but it's not really working out too much. What I'm going to do is shorter passing, retain possession, now much higher the tempo as well. Because we've got the man advantage, we should be able to move the ball around a little bit better than we currently are. So let's make those alterations. Let's begin the second half. 45 minutes to come. But as things stand right now, I can see Palace winning this game and going through despite having 10 men. Well, that is going to do it for the game. Now, we've not taken advantage of having the man advantage, and we're about to go into extra time. They've now changed their formation again and now gone to a 4-4-1, so I may as well take off the attacking down the side of the pitch we were on the right-hand side, first the left-hand side, and may as well just keep on focusing our attacks in a balanced sort of style. We're much higher in the tempo, we're short of the passing retaining session, we've done a bit better job of keeping hold of the ball. I'm going to switch to attacking, which, as I've said before, doesn't really work for me in FM, and mix the passing up a little bit more now as well. But as we're still tied at 1-1, I'm quite frustrated we haven't taken advantage of having the man advantage. So what I might do in the second half is bring on Clinton for Ferguson, switch Collier to the left-hand side, and take off Shane. And yeah, just do that for the time being. So half an hour to go, extra time period begins, still tied at 1-1. And to be honest, this game could go either way. So the first half of extra time does come here, 8 minutes into the extra time period, with the Dream off the bench receiving the ball, sliding it through to Collier. There's Jerome Sinclair, who puts it just wide the post, still 1-1. And to be fair to Crystal Palace, despite playing with a man disadvantage for the majority of the game, they've played just as well as us. We're still tied at 1-1, and as things stand, we're going to a shootout. And so that is exactly what it's going to be then, a penalty shootout to separate the two sides and find out who's going through to the Carabao Cup quarter-finals. And I'm quite excited for this, because it's going to be our first shootout of the save. But I do have a horrendously poor record in shootouts in FM, either in personal saves or saves for YouTube. So not feeling too optimistic, but let's find out what happens. We've not got the best penalty takers out there. Payet can take them. Sinclair and Niasse not bad either. But other than that, it's slim pickings really. So we'll just set the first four and see what happens afterwards. Is Jake Cooper really going to take fourth? Why not? So let's do it then. It's a penalty shootout. It's Crystal Palace versus Millwall, and let's go ahead and change the camera as well and get a good view of this. Right, here's your money on Crystal Palace or Millwall to make it through to the Carabao Cup quarter-finals. Jerome Sinclair to take our first, and it's straight down the middle, 1-0. Crystal Palace now taking their first penalty. Go on, George. Provide the heroics in the shootout, son. Provide the heroics in the shootout. Oh, I think he got a touch there. Couldn't keep it out, though. And it's 1-1. Next up is Zakaria. We're doing the ABBA formation here. And it's Zakaria for Crystal Palace against Long. Can he give Crystal Palace their first lead in the shootout? No, Long makes the save. Well done, George. Niasse up next. Scored in normal time. Now can he score from 12 yards? Go on, son. Make it 2-1. Yes, indeed. Nice penalty there. And we restore our lead. And now Dimitri Payet going to show us exactly why we brought him into this club. Can make it 3-1, hopefully. Go on, Dimitri. Tuck it home, son. Tuck it home. Oh, yes. What a penalty. And I believe now that means that Salah must score for Crystal Palace. Or is it the next one? I think Salah takes it, and Long makes the save anyway. And that now definitely means if we stop this one with George Long, that'll do it, and we'll be through to the quarterfinals. So shouldn't really mess it up from this position. Don't want to jinx it, but I mean, I've done that before. But as Coyle takes this one, if Long makes another save or he puts it off target, we're going through to the Carabao Cup quarterfinals, and we are into the furthest stage we've been in the series so far. So Coyle against Long, can he make back-to-back saves and send us through? Well, we'll find out in a moment. Here we go, Coyle to take it against Long, and it's Long again, George Long making the save as the subs run on the pitch, and we celebrate our penalty shootout victory. So 1 for 1 then. I'm normally quite poor. I say I'm normally quite poor. I normally have a poor success rate with penalty shootouts in FM, but we've got ourselves through, and I'm going to say I'm far from pleased with what I saw from the team, because we had a man advantage and shouldn't have took that to penalties, but we did. But at least we're through. So we're through on penalties. George Long the hero, and we're into the Carabao Cup quarterfinals. Lovely stuff. And so that means that before we play the West Ham game, we're going to go ahead and take a look at our Carabao Cup opponents in the quarterfinals. I'm quite excited for this, to be honest. It's the furthest we've got in the competition in the series so far. We haven't had a cup run since season 1 when we got to the FA Cup quarterfinals and lost to West Brom. So this is our furthest step next. And always a London derby there, QPR versus West Ham, Manchester United versus Hull. We've been drawn at home. Who have we got? Everton, Brentford or Leicester? Hopefully Brentford in a London derby, and it's going to be Leicester in the quarterfinals as Everton will take on Brentford in the other fixtures. And based on those teams left, yes, of course, we're far from favourites, but do you know what? If we can take out Leicester and reach the semis and have 2 legs against either QPR or West Ham or Hull, Brentford or Everton, we could have a shot at getting to Wembley for the first time in the series. Long way to go before of course that happens, but Leicester in the Carabao Cup quarterfinals. That's going to be on the 9th of December. When is that? That's after the... Oh no, sorry. What did I just say? Where's the fixture? Well, it's the 9th of December anyway. And yeah, bring them on. So, second and final game of today's episode then, as we take on West Ham at the London Stadium away from home in what could be an early relegation six-pointer, as they right now sit in 19th place. We're in 14th place, as 6 points separate the two teams right now. As we head into the game on the back of that win against Crystal Palace, I'm hoping we can make it back-to-back victories for the first time in a while, but I think this game could well be a loss, and I guess we'll have to wait and see. But we'll stick with the 4-4-2, but of course change our team back to our normal first 11, minus a couple of players due to injuries. Wallace still out right now, and Black not fit enough to start this game, although he will be on the bench. So Woodman is in goal. It's back for a Chilwell, Hutchinson, Fry, and James Bree, with my midfield four being Menji on the left, Webster on the right, in the middle, Ryan Tunnicliffe and Dobby, and up top together Marvin Brito and Marek Kuchar, and actually split those two around there because Kuchar's had such a great start to the season. I want to try and get more chances for him if we can. And on the bench, Long, Cooper, Ferguson, a Dream, Payet, Collar, and Black as well. So second game, it's West Ham. It's our first meeting with them in the Premier League. Who's going to come out on top? Let's find out. Come on, you Lions. Quite interesting seeing West Ham doing poorly in the game right now, because they've actually got a really decent team. So it's a surprise that they're sitting in the bottom three, but if they win this game, they'll move out of it. So extra incentive for them to get the 3 points here. However, for us, if we can win this game and move further away from the drop zone, pick up a big victory against our rivals on the road, that'll be fantastic. So yeah, I wouldn't call it a relegation six-pointer just yet, but it's a massive game for both teams, and both sides can really do it to win. And the first highlight is going to come to West Ham as well. Nuno Santos breaking clear and firing it way over the bar. Wow, what a miss that was, as he was 1-1 with Freddie and should have at least hit the target, but still 0-0, and that is a huge let-off. We should be behind. Keep your eyes peeled on that duo as well. Nuno Santos and Lo Celso, both of which do really well in FM, particularly the latter. And that should have been 1-0 there. Thankfully wasn't. But it is West Ham making a brighter start, and they should have the second chance here just 29 minutes in, as they've made a really bright start to the game. 7 shots already, 60% possession, and as things stand, you expect them to go in front, not before long. Here is Lo Celso to Danny Ings. Good tackle there. But all dropped to Nuno Santos. He says, this time I'm not going to miss. I will hit the target, and I will find the back of the net. He and Lo Celso really, really good on FM, and that is Nuno Santos making amends there and firing the hammers in front. Diaz with the through ball to Lo Celso. His pass to Danny Ings. Good tackle by Ryan Tunnicliffe, but Nuno Santos first to latch onto the loose ball, fires at home. 1-0 West Ham, no less than they deserve. We have not started this game off at all, and right on cue with 2 goals down, Nuno Santos now getting an assist to add to his goal as well, and Pedro Diaz makes it 2-0. It's all West Ham in his first half, and I said that both teams could really do it to win, particularly West Ham being in the bottom 3 to start the game off, and now 2 goals to good, and you really feel, based on these stats and the way we've played, it's going to be their game to lose. We're 2-0 down, can't see us getting back into this one. Plenty of time left in the game, don't get me wrong, but it's not looking good right now. It's all West Ham, but as Twansby's dispossessed by Kuchar, what a mistake, and Kuchar punishes him with another goal. I have no idea how Freddie Woodman's getting the assist there, but he is, and it's West Ham 2, Millwall 1. Wow, what a terrible goal to concede for West Ham, and a silly way to let us get back in the game. Axel Twansby, thankfully didn't do that too many times in my Huddersfield career mode, gives us a goal, and Marek, our top scorer, gets the easiest one of his career so far. West Ham 2, Millwall 1. And out of nowhere, we're back in it, although I don't expect us to get back in the game and get a point from this, because surely that's going to be a blip there, and West Ham are going to get themselves 2 goals to the good once again, and give themselves that cushion once more, because they're looking so much better out there. An individual error, hopefully we can punish them for it, but I'm not entirely sure. But as James Bree does win it back there, oh, do you know what, if we played that pass right there, we could have had 2-on-2 with Brito and Kuchar. We just didn't play the situation right, but it's still 2-1, and a bizarre way to end the first half as we get ourselves back in the game. But here come West Ham. Arias down that right-hand side, plays it back into Lo Celso, across to Diaz, and Diaz gets away from Clinton down his left-hand side. He plays it into Nuno Santos, the danger man. There's Danny Ings, and there is the 3rd goal, and there is the 2-goal cushion restored, and no less than the Hammers deserve. And Nuno Santos in this first half, as I did discuss earlier, is tearing us apart, having an absolute stormer to make amends for that earlier error. Nice ball out wide towards Diaz there, down the left-hand side, and as eventually rolls it in, as Ben Davies goes on the overlap, Nuno Santos fizzes one across the ground, and there is Danny Ings to make it 3-1. West Ham 3, Millwall 1, and this has been a good first half, but yeah, I can't see us get back into this one. So first highlight of the second half comes early, and oh my goodness, it's 3-2. And 2 minutes after the restart, we're not giving up. These Lions continue to fight. Nice corner by Menji, who's very good from corners, I must say. Flicked on by Dale Fry, and Sean Hutchinson, the captain, simply couldn't miss from 4 yards out. So West Ham 3, Millwall 2. And we've got another highlight directly from kickoff. Chilwell to Kuchar, gets it back, and the left back crosses to Marvin Brito. Oh, and Subasic makes the save. And eventually, Ogbonna hits it off Marvin and behind for a goal kick. Well, brilliant start to the second half. Let's keep it going. We had a horrendous first half, but a very bright start to the second. But now West Ham looking for a chance to restore their 2-goal cushion. And Lo Celso shot deflects off of Nuno Santos and into Danny Ings. And there's their 2-goal cushion restored again. My goodness gracious me. We should open up a furniture shop with all the cushions we're giving out right now. West Ham 4, Millwall 2. And my goodness, Nuno Santos picking up the assists even when he doesn't need to. This Lo Celso actually gets the recorded assist. It was Rotario back towards Lo Celso. He shot cannons off Nuno Santos. And Danny Ings says, cheers bro, I'll make it 4-2. So West Ham back in front by 2, half an hour to go, and we're not giving up and going forward. We cannot defend right now. I just brought on Dimitri Payet against West Ham, so I'm sure we'll get an interesting reception, no doubt about that. With 15 minutes to go, it's looking likely now that the Hammers are going to record the 3 points, which they deserve, no question. And we'll have to settle for a decent display win going forward, but not much other than that. But there's 10 minutes to go, and based on our fight backs in this game, you wouldn't rule us out cutting the gap to 1 once again. But instead, West Ham looking to now get a 3-goal cushion with Danny Ings on the ball looking for his hat-trick. Plays it out wide towards Rafael, acres of space, whips one into Sanabria, headed away. Paulinho finds Nuno Santos though, Woodman makes the save, but there is the hat-trick for Danny Ings, and he has torn us apart in this game. West Ham 5, Millwall 2, 10 minutes to go, and we've been thumped by the Hammers. And so that is going to do it then. Final score away from home, West Ham 5, Millwall 2. They now take a 2-1 lead in the series, if you will. And I will say to the boys, not happy performance out there. We motivated most of the players and fired up most of them as well. But yeah, disappointing that, because we've conceded an awful lot of goals to start this season off. Player also got a bruised knee in that game. I bet the West Ham players were targeting him as soon as he came off the bench. But yeah, it's been a decent start to the season in terms of right now sitting in 14th place. We're above the bottom 3 like we were expecting, and I say it's not what we were expecting. We're expecting to be in the bottom 3. We're above the relegation zone right now, but that's the main concern right now. We've conceded more goals than anyone else in the division with 24 from 10 games, and we'll need to sort that out if we are to stay out. We need to tighten our defense big time, otherwise we will slide into the bottom 3, and when you get into the relegation zone with a team that's not that great in FM, it's very hard to get out of it. So we've got our heads above water, but only just, and we definitely need to tighten up, no question about it. But that will end today's episode of the Football Manager series, guys. So big thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it, and if you did enjoy today's episode, then please do drop a like. We shall return in the next episode with games against, I was going to do Arsenal and Manchester United, but instead I wouldn't mind playing that Carabao Cup game against Leicester there, but then again, Arsenal and Manchester United, it's a very good double-header that. I don't really want to miss out either of those games. You know what? I think we'll do that. I think we'll play the Leicester game off camera and come back for Arsenal and Manchester United, because that's going to be a very tough double-header, but it should be a very fun one indeed. And based on how these 3 games could go, we may well be in the relegation zone, and these will be 2 crucial fixtures. So thanks for watching. Have an awesome evening. Much love to you all, and I'll see you for the next episode in my Football Manager series very soon. Bye.